Hi, Joe. I heard there was a little bit of confusion on number 5 for you. Mrs. Lucas here. I just wanted to take a moment to help you with this particular problem. So the step-by-step process goes a little something like this. In step 1, you're supposed to take a moment to look at your identities chart from your notes and identify a formula that relates the things that you know. And in this case, we know that the sine of theta is -5/9. And the thing that you don't know, which initially is the cosine of theta. So if you need to pause the video at this point in time to look at your identities chart, it's a great time to do that. But you're going to want to go ahead and look at your formulas and select the one that has both sine and cosine only in it. Hopefully when you took a minute to pause your video and look at your identities chart, you realize that there's only one that just has sine and cosine. And that's one of our Pythagorean identities. It's sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. So step 1 is identifying a formula that relates the thing that you know and the thing that you don't. At this point in time, you're going to take your crazy good algebra skills and fill in the item that you know. So in this case, we know that the sine of theta is -5/9. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in what I know about sine into my formula. So I have -5/9 squared, and then I still don't know cosine, and then that's equal to 1. When we square a fraction, you have to square the top and square the bottom. So this will be 25 out of 81. Plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And then in an effort to isolate what we don't know, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 25 out of 81 from both sides. And in this case, my 1 is going to turn into 81 out of 81. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract 25 out of 81. Hence subtracting 25 out of 81 from both sides. I'm going to go ahead and find the difference between those two numbers. So you would do 81 out of 81 minus 25 out of 81, and you get 56 out of 81. Square root both sides. The square root of 56, you might recall, breaks down into 4 times 14. 4 is the largest perfect square that goes into 56. So the numerator turns into 2 root 14 over 9. But remember, when you square root both sides, there's actually 2 values that could satisfy that equation. So right now we have cosine of theta equals plus or minus 2 root 14 over 9. The small thing we need to pay attention to next is this secant theta is negative. When something's less than 0, it just means it's negative. So in this case, they're telling us, hey, secant theta, that has to be a negative number. And when I look at that, I'm also remembering that secant is just your reciprocal function for cosine. So if secant is negative, that means that cosine is also negative. So the last step in the 3-step process is to decide, is the answer positive or negative? And since secant is, again, negative, I would go ahead and assume that cosine is also negative. So the answer for cosine is -2 root 14 over 9. So that's the first answer. Circle that up. And then we have the last function we need to find, which in this case is cotangent theta. So keep in mind, you can, use your strategies. We now know cosine and sine. We worked hard to figure out that cosine value. We can now use it. So now I'm going to take a second to find cotangent. So if you want to pause the video and go ahead and take a moment to identify the formula that now relates cotangent. So cotangent, sine, and cosine. Okay, hopefully you identified the idea that cotangent theta, oops, it's a little dark, cotangent theta is equal to the cosine over sine. And so now we can fill in what we know and sort of simplify to solve for what we don't. So we know cosine is now equal to negative 2 root 14 over 9. And we knew our sine value was negative 5/9. This is a complex fraction, and to simplify it, we just do keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep 2 root 14 over 9, change my division to multiplication, and multiply by the reciprocal. So this will be negative 9 over 5. Your 9s do cross cancel. So what you get is negative 2 root 14 over 5. And that is our answer for cotangent. So now your problem is done. So to be very, very clear, it's 3 steps. Step 1, you need to choose a formula from your formula sheet in your notes that relates the item that you know to the item that you don't. You then fill in what you know and solve for what you don't using your crazy good algebra skills. So that would be step 2. And then in the last step, you have to pay attention to the plus or minus at the very end. This is why we often use what's called the constraint in the problem. So it's a 3-step process. I really hope this helps you, Joe. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions.